What is going on, and welcome back to Hertha Hero with me, FoggyPlays, on FM22, the beta. Today's episode, we are taking on Borussia Dortmund, which would be quite an important game. It's the final game before, or the final league game before the World Cup, and potentially could be the thing that stops us in our tracks for trying to win the league. We still probably could get into well, it's still very, very possible to get into Champions League, but we might be out of the titled picture even after such a short period of the season. The next episode will be the World Cup. We're going to be looking at not every game, but we're looking at every group of games, if you will, for the World Cup. We're going to see how it gets on, because I've seen some strange results in the Qatar World Cup, but we're going into this one knowing that a win is quite important. So if you do want to enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Right, fellas, so as I said in the intro, we're taking on Borussia Dortmund. As you can see, 6th in the league. We have only played 13 games, but this is a very important game regardless. We do have quite a number of games in hand over teams around us, mainly Leverkusen, who are third. We've 2 games over them, and we're only 5 points behind. So we could, in theory, jump them if results go as they should, which would be in our favour. Wolfsburg have played 16 games. Union Berlin, it's not looking great for them. 17 games played. They have played half the season already. They're the only ones that played half the season already, and they are still in the relegation zone. It's not ideal for them. But you've got teams like Hoffenheim who've only managed 10 games so far. I would not like to be the Hoffenheim manager, who is Andrea Pirlo. He's going to have quite the busy time. As you can see, we've already qualified from our group, unbeaten thus far, and we've been invited to play in a friendly cup, which is quite nice. We can decide in the game after the Borussia Dortmund game if AZ are going to be allowed to play in the next round of the Europa League, because a win for them, or potentially a draw if Qarabag can pick up a win, which is probably not going to happen. But we've gotten Adana, a Turkish side, Adana Demirspor, Ujpest, and Atletico Madrid, which is interesting. Atletico Madrid. I'm not sure who. Okay, it must have been us that set it up, because it's being played in our league. It would have been something my assistant manager did. I don't partake in that. I don't do that kind of thing. What are you talking about? But since the last episode where we beat Qarabag 4-0, we went and beat Freiburg 2-0, bottom of the league at the time. I think they're still bottom. Pretty sure they're still bottom of the league right now. They're not having a great time. We took our time opening them up, but then we managed to score a brace, which was fantastic. We have had to rotate the squads quite a significant amount, because as you can see, 3 days later we took on Stuttgart, rotated side, picked up 2 injuries. Both players that played at left back, interestingly, both picked up injuries, which was not ideal. I think, what happened was Misindo picked up an injury early enough in the game. Agu then picked up an injury late in the game after I'd made all my substitutions, which was obviously ideal. We went out 10 minutes and they scored twice in the 90th minute. So, fantastic. Then we drew against Bayer Leverkusen. Again, just rotated side. Very tired. Struggled, but did manage to get a draw. Probably didn't deserve it, but we got it. Kevin Ellers has been on a horrendous run of form, so as you can imagine, not been getting many games where I can avoid playing him. We went to Azerbaijan, and we were supposed to play in a stadium that had a capacity of 6,500, and then they moved it to the Olympic Stadium because it had a higher capacity and they were expecting more fans to arrive. Less than 2,500 came. Not ideal for them, but we beat them comfortably enough with a relatively changed side. Gave some players that were coming back from injuries an opportunity, and we managed to win the game. Melida with a cheeky little, I think it was a dink. But then we went and beat Besiktas 2-0 at home. Lorenzo Luca and Arne Meyer both getting goals for us, which was delightful. So the AZ game, really not important. And we have got some friendlies proposed for the not too distant future, or for December. But yeah, Borussia Dortmund on a decent run of form, I would imagine. Top of the league. Okay, we're going to say, yeah, they're on quite the run of form. They haven't lost since being beaten by Roma over a month ago. Most recently beat Lask 6-0. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. They're into the third round of the Pokal. As you would expect, they're playing Freiburg. So that would have been a game that I wouldn't have minded getting. But what can you do? At least it doesn't say on here about Boyata. Boyata's been gone for almost a year now, and they're still talking about him as if he's one of our players. So we do have a little bit of an injury issue. Tornariga still hasn't returned from his injury. Masindo and Agu both not fully fit to play. Eklenkamp is exhausted, so he's sitting this one out. Arne Meyer sits on the bench because he is quite tired, as is Gekter. Gekter's been playing a lot of games recently. So Petty, who's not fully ready to play, starts in his place. And Plattenhardt continues at left back because we don't have any other left backs. So if anything happens to him, I think Ellers is the one we're going to be bringing on. But we're going into this one, like I said, somewhat rotated side. Alte is starting in goal. Baku and Plattenhardt as our wingbacks. Papetti and Darde in central defence, with Barrow and Tussart in midfield. Because Serdar is tired. Is he? Okay, no. Tussart's playing. Gerrit Bell's playing on the right. Dil Rosen's going to be on the left for his second appearance this season. Salcedo and Luca are starting up front. Salcedo, I'm going to keep playing him. He's got to score eventually. Originally I was intending on playing a 4-2-3-1, but then I realised that Eklenkamp was pretty much dead. I was like, I'll play Salcedo there. And I was like, well, if I'm going to play Salcedo as an attacking midfielder, why not just play him as a striker? Salcedo hasn't really hit the ground running, but we do have Arezzo and Melida on the... Where's... Piatek's not on the bench? Did I leave Piatek out of this game? Go out and prove them wrong. They're expecting us to lose. Prove them wrong. I have faith in you. I have motivated Salcedo, which is fantastic. Yeah, we don't have Piatek. Okay, obviously decided against Piatek for today. I'm kind of considering him as like our fourth choice striker right now. He didn't fit the mold last year. Doesn't fit the mold again this year. So I'm not overly enamoured with Piatek. I don't think he's... Ooh, Bellingham's after picking up a bit of a knock. We're playing dangerous football at the back. But yeah, Piatek's not... I think had he not picked up that injury, that was quite the pass of the game. Had a little bit of a meltdown. Haaland is trying to get the fans going. Yeah, Darde. Quite a nice clearance. But yeah, Piatek, if he hadn't picked up that injury right at the start of the season, I think he probably would be more involved. But Lorenzo Luca and Melida, Arezzo all really kicked on. And Piatek doesn't really suit the way we play. So we're going to... I think this is the first time we're playing a 4-2-4 in FM22. Just because I haven't really... Oh, what a tackle by Bale. They say his work rate is terrible. To be fair, it is. It's not great. But he's managed to get back and do something. We are really letting him control the game. Unfortunately, Luca doesn't get there. Jude Bellingham is after picking up a knock, so is right. His heart was quite low. Papetti manages to win the header. Haaland, it's bobbling around in the box. I feel like that highlight should have probably started a little bit earlier. Seeing Kobel pushing the ball behind for a corner. Of course, it's going to be a Borussia Dortmund highlight. Papetti, beautiful tackle. What an interesting highlight. We are on key highlights. It was just interesting. Marco Reus, Alte, just managed to swat it behind. Our team's not playing amazingly. Dil Rosen's really struggling. Gareth Bale's not having a great game. Baku's not having a great game. It seems to be all down the right side though. So you'd imagine Plattenhardt would be the one that was struggling for a rating. But he's not. He's also, in theory, our most tired. Well, him and Luca, Lorenzo Luca, both struggling. Proud of everyone's effort. I feel like you can kick on. Prove everyone wrong. Okay. Dil Rosen probably going to come off for Melida at some point. I'm going to have to take Lorenzo Luca off as well because he's quite tired. Baku's not having a great game. at right back. Still not sure why. Of all the players, I would have imagined, like, with the way, from the highlights we had seen, they were going down their right side. I would have thought that Plattenhard would have been the one that potentially would have had a lower rating. Dilrosun is getting himself sent off. Yep. Dilrosun, red card. Didn't look like a sending off to me, but maybe he went in studs up. Yeah, we're just going to go Gareth Bale as an advanced or attacking midfielder on support for the time being. Maybe just have Plattenhard attack a little bit more. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Dilrosun, I just took him. Well, I had taken him off the transfer list a while back, but I had just taken him from being surplus to requirements to being a fringe player. Because I was like, I might keep him around. Probably a handy player to have just in case we do decide to keep playing with wingers. He's got himself sent off in his second appearance of the season. Not ideal. We do need players for squad rotation this season because of everything that's going on. The World Cup is just ruining everybody. We are absolutely being dominated. This is definitely not how I would have liked this game to go. We are, to be fair, down to 10 men as well. So that's not going to help our cause. Luca can come off for... Going to bring on a Rezo. We still have 2 substitutions. Probably take Gareth Bale off and bring on scootR. Who I did consider playing in that position, but I'm not 100% sure that's the best place to play him. So what I might do is bring him back. Put Barrow in the middle as the box-to-box. scootR can be Mazzella on support, and we leave Toussaint to be the ball-winning midfielder. I think the next change is probably going to be Salcedo. Bring on Melida. But do we push on to try and win this game? Like, Plattenhard is dying. But he's playing well, so I don't know, do I want to take... Oh, just leave everyone, have so much goddamn space. Fabian Angel is a player who just joined Borussia Dortmund on, I think it was deadline day. So we're just going to push on a little bit more. Just, we've had so few highlights for us. Thankfully, Alte is there to stop what looked like a potential nailed on goal. We do need to, try and get the ball forward, maybe. Try and get the ball to our strikers. No? Just gonna leave them run. Yeah. What a goal by Erling Haaland. I can't even complain. That was near post, had was it 2 players on him and still managed to put the ball in the back of the net. Erling Haaland is a cheat code. Yeah, he had a player ahead of him, a player behind him, and he still manages to sneak the ball into the back of the net. Don't know how he does that. And then they take him off. He scores an absolute whirly of a goal, and then they're like, yeah, we'll take it off there now. Melida is going to come on. scootR can be just a Mazzella on attack, because why not? Toussaint can be a Caralero, because again, actually we'll put Toussaint in the middle as the... Nope, can't have him in the middle. Okay. Yeah, I'm less than happy with Toussaint, or not Toussaint, Dilrosun for getting himself sent off, because we could have potentially done something. I'm not sure why Baku's rating is at a 6.4. I don't think I've seen him in the game, but for some reason he is just playing terribly. Okay, so I'm saying it now. I said it in the intro. Pretty sure this is our title hopes done. But we'll have to wait and see. Alte had an absolute banger of a game for us. To be fair, when your goalkeeper plays a 7.5, you know that he's played well, even if the rest of the team hasn't. Plattenhard just continues to be exceptional. Hopefully he gets a bit of a rest now. I'm probably going to not play him in a lot of the friendlies that are coming up, just so he can have a bit of time to, rest his legs, because the dude has been playing almost non-stop. We are going to be playing Barcelona. Have a bunch of players that we've scouted. Yeah, It was once we got the player sent off, didn't really work out well for us. Dismissed for a bad tackle. It didn't look that bad. I'm not going to appeal it because appealing it is just pointless. But yeah, what we'll do in just a second is we'll come back and we'll have a look at the result of the AZ game and then the draw for the next round of the groups, or the first knockout round, which, when is the draw? 12th of December. Maybe we won't do that, so yeah, we'll be back in just a second so I can show you how the group ended and what teams have made it through and who's going to be joining us from the Champions League, which is probably why the draw is going to be delayed. Anyway, back in a second. Don't go anywhere. Right, fellas, so the Europa League has, or the group stages have come to an end, and we won our game against AZ fairly comfortably, 4-1. Martin Darday with 2 headers from free kicks, which was fantastic. Linus Gechter scored from a free kick, and Barrow scored an absolute screamer, which was fantastic. As you can see, Lucas Tutert got himself sent off in the 88th minute, having come on in the 84th. So, first highlight we saw him in, just went into the back of their striker, who was inside their own half. Completely pointless, but it's fine. So, surprise teams getting through, surprise teams maybe not getting through. Monaco topped their group in what I would have expected to be quite a tight group for the top 3, and it was. Dinamo Zagreb and Anderlecht duking it out for second. Unfortunately, Anderlecht drop out. Young Boys and Partizan go through. Partizan, okay, it's because they beat Freiburg 1-0 twice. Freiburg only managing to beat Dinamo Kiev. So that would explain why Partizan go through, even though Freiburg had a 6-goal difference. I'm guessing they drew. So the Partizan lost to Dinamo Kiev and still managed to qualify. That's interesting. Everton and Real Sociedad go through. Trabzonspor and Rangers finishing bottom of their group. Rangers beating Everton once. That's also interesting. Benfica and Lille go through, having had a pretty smashing time. Torino, unfortunate to get knocked out by Baltica, a Russian side, who got demolished 10-0. They lost 10-0 twice. Sweet mother divine. Jesus. Alright, so we topped our group unbeaten. I think we're the only team to have won every game in our group. Besiktas go through, beating Qarabag 2-0 on the final. 5-1. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, Besiktas made it look comfortable in the end. Braga and Atletico Bilbao qualify from their group. Cluj getting knocked out. OB Odensk. 7 goals by Sabi. Not enough for them to qualify. I'm guessing a lot of those goals were in qualifiers, because it looks like they haven't scored too many goals. Arsenal and Krasnodar qualify from their group, but Arsenal making hard work of it. Apoel and AIK finishing 3rd and 4th. Arsenal losing 2 games. 4-0 against AIK. Jesus, Arsenal, what are you doing? Lelujo definitely is doing his bit for Arsenal in his save, because they're losing to the worst team in their group. Inter and Ludogorets qualify from their group. Again, that would never have been in doubt. Austrian side Hartberg, finishing 3rd, because I think they beat Midtjylland on the final day. Yeah, 2-1. So some decent teams. We could get Dinamo Zagreb, Partizan, Sociedad, Lille, Bilbao, Krasnodar, or Ludogorets. Because qualify as a first seed. Who will be joining us from the Champions League? Borussia Mönchengladbach. Juventus finished bottom of their group. Sevilla and Leon through to the next round. Olympiacos, Fenerbahce fall out of Europe altogether. Real Madrid and Liverpool go through in their group, to be expected. Slavia Prague beating PSV. Did not expect that. Borussia Dortmund and Roma going through. Shakhtar. Yeah, I suppose you can kind of see that group working out that way relatively comfortably. PSG Man City go through quite comfortably. Zenit dropping out. Club Brugge no longer in Europe. Atletico Madrid and Sporting are through to the next round of the Champions League. Feyenoord join us in the Europa League, and St Johnstone, who did they beat? Feyenoord 2-1. That's not bad. Leipzig and Barcelona qualifying from their group. Barcelona making hard work of it. Napoli finishing in third. Interesting. Bayern Munich and Milan go through. Chelsea are into the Europa League. Marseille finishing outside of it. So there is quite a number of good teams that we could get in the next round, which, as we saw, is going to be drawn in December. So we're not going to be looking at that just now. Some days fixtures. Okay, yeah. So the not too distant future of the World Cup kicks off, and that will be the next episode. We're going to be looking at the World Cup, which has some rather interesting teams. I'm not going to show you now, but there is some interesting groups. I've had a quick look at it myself, so that is going to be quite an interesting episode, I would imagine. So if you have enjoyed this one, do make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know who you think we're going to get in the next round, having gone through all the teams that we could get. It's probably going to be Chelsea or like Napoli. It's going to be one of the big teams. It's always one of the big teams. One of the teams we probably struggle to beat. But next episode will be the World Cup. So if you have enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, and I will see you in the next one.